All right, everyone, welcome to our stream. My name is Luciano Minetti with KORG, here today with two very exciting instruments, and thank you all for joining us, by the way. Wow, we got a world crowd here. We got Germany, New York, Bulgaria, Chicago, Melbourne. Well, this is great. Hi, Francis. Nice to have you in the stream. Anyway, welcome to our live stream today. I'm very excited about these two keyboards and this combination of two keyboards. I hope you enjoyed that opening demo, and we're going to be making some music today. Like I said, this is a jam, but throughout the jam, we'll discuss some key features of both of these instruments. So a couple goals for today. I want to talk about my approach to using arranger keyboards in my workflow, in the type of music that I make, and actually a newfound excitement I get for playing these instruments in combination with a stage piano such as the SV-2. So yes, I have a Pa1000. It is the perfect keyboard. It's a really powerful keyboard, and we're going to talk about a lot of that power today and what it's capable of. I used a little bit of the feature-rich panel and to navigate and make that introductory demo there, using chaos effects as well, which we'll talk about in our stream a little later, as well as some of my favorite presets here in my SV-2. Going back between piano, and you heard a little bit of mixing in some pre-effects, U-Vibe, which is my favorite. We'll talk about that. But First comes first, if you're just joining us, I do want to give you a little bit of a rundown on both of these instruments and what they're really good at, who they're made for. If you're a seasoned expert on arrangers, this is probably going to be a little basic for you, but we're going to get into some of the other features that I use and how I use them later in the stream. But on top, we have the PA1000, which is a professional arranger. Now, this thing is packed with so many great sounds, so many great styles, which vary genres from around the world. And a lot of capability to quickly make music happen on the fly. That's what arranger keyboards are really great at. They're great for live performance, but they're also great if you want to just sketch out ideas. If you want to maybe sketch out a song, you can use this really nice panel here with all these buttons that you could press on the keyboard to really customize the way you're playing. Now, I chose the PA1000 for this stream because it does have the most features. It has a 61 key bed with aftertouch. It has really great built-in speakers if you're looking to fill a room, really great at that. And it has a lot of really cool features, including 2 players, where we're going to explore that a little later, playing back MIDI files, MP3 files, and you can actually crossfade between them, transpose them. So we're going to get into all that. But on the bottom, I have the SV-2. And the SV-2 is an absolutely incredible stage instrument. I'm sure many of you know. Really great also for hands-on control. So they have that in common, that you have quick access for live performance. These are both geared towards really great live performance. And inside of the SV-2, I have some presets that I cooked up for this stream, and we'll kind of work with them in combination and see how that goes, all right? But let's talk about that entrance demo there, what we did. So first comes first. You have my screen. You can all follow along here. When you're navigating the PA1000 or any arranger keyboard in our lineup, first thing you want to know is there are these mode select buttons, and you're going to have style play, song play, sequencer, and sound. So I was in style play because I was playing that style, that groove that you heard. By simply clicking the buttons, you can kind of get between the song play, which will trigger, I can have the MP3 files, my sequencer, or just looking and listening to the sounds in the instrument. So for the purposes of the first demo, I'm in style play mode, and you can see if I click here on the screen where it says keyboard set, I can see that the name of the style is Kiss Sky Pop. Now, I really dig it because in this case, I try to usually look for beats that appeal to me first within a style, and then when I'm jamming out like this with my SV-2, I'll find the beat first, and then I'll start to experiment with what is programmed within the style that's going to make the music happen, all right? So let's talk about what's in the style. So first comes first, you're going to see on the screen here, we have our 4 single touch settings or keyboard sets that are available here. Digital grand, nylon guitar. You heard me play 2 of them in the opening demo. But what these STS or single touch settings do is they will actually choose what sounds you hear on the keyboard. So in this case, digital grand. Now you can see it's split the keyboard. I have a split button here letting me know that the left hand is going to be used to trigger the chord. So as we were playing there, I can use the left hand to tell the instrument what changes I want to hear from the automatic accompaniment. But I also have other keyboard sets that are programmed to go really well with the style that I'm playing. So a nice guitar. So some of these sounds are really awesome, and they usually are paired really, really well with the style that you're playing. Now, just taking our attention away for a second from the screen, I used the pads when I started this demo. Now, when you're getting into playing an arranger, what I say the best thing to do is you want to start messing around with the styles, and you want to just start experiencing what these variations, what the pads, what they're going to get you out of the style that you're playing. So I want to take a minute to listen to what pads are programmed for this particular style. So let's start with, I use pads 4 and 2 to start this demo. You're going to hear. So pad 4 is giving me a nice guitar comp. 2 is going to have the shaker. Let's hear what 3. A cool little synth texture there. So now the pads, again, are going to just be there to give you some things to layer over the style variations that you have down here. So it's a really great way if you just want to start jamming out and you're combining it with maybe a stage instrument. Explore the pads first. Maybe they can give you some sort of an intro texture to then build your song off of. Now in this case, I chose to start the demo with manual bass. By the way, for those joining us, welcome to the stream. I see a question there regarding the PA700 and PA1000 updates. At this time, obviously, I would love to tell you about updates. At this time, there are no updates that we have to announce, but just keep checking the KORG website, the support page. When we will post the updates, we'll make you all aware. We'll make sure that it's announced in social media so you know that those updates are coming. So stay tuned for those. No updates to announce today, but thank you for your question and thank you for joining us. All right, so back to this. Now, I did choose to start my playing with manual bass. Now, these arrangers have a really fun button that is the manual bass button, and you can press it at any time. And instead of accepting my chord triggers, see now if I play a chord, any 3 notes, it's letting me know that it's detecting the chord. But if I play manual bass, it's going to split the keyboard. So what's cool about that is when you're on the fly, if you're jamming, one of the purposes I like to use this combination is for practice purposes also. Now, typically, we talk about arrangers at KORG and you say, well, one-man band, somebody who is the only musician in the room and needs to sound like they're not. Well, there are a lot of other purposes, and in my case, as a jazz pianist, it's not necessarily always about me diving in and performing with this, because I'm going to be usually using a stage piano, playing keyboard sounds, but as a practice tool, this becomes really, really exceptional too for me. That's my use. As I jam, I explore different styles. I practice my comping. I practice my soloing, all with the arranger holding it down for me, combining different textures. So, as you can see, I have the bass there. Now, when I press the start button, I'm going to start to play through my variations. So sometimes for me, I'll use a beat that I really like and just start there without using the automatic accompaniment features, and I'll see what I can get. So let's pull up on the SV-2 now. We got a cool beat going there. Let's add the pads. Yeah, we'll add the shakers there. All right, let's get another sound here on the main panel. Let's add some effects. One of my favorites in the pre-effects category in the SV-2 is U-Vibe. Oh yeah. Let's see. All right, so we're starting to get something there. Cool groove. Now, let's say we want to add some bass. Obviously, I could use the SV-2 and I can split the SV-2. For those of you who aren't familiar, if you want to make like your custom patches on the SV-2, there's an editor software that you can download on your computer that will allow you to actually put together up to 3 different voices and either have 2 voices in the right side of the keyboard and 1 split in the left hand, or you can layer all 3 together. So I'm going to have a couple sound demos for you with that today. But you can do that in the SV-2 editor. There's actually a lot of videos that we posted recently exploring that. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely give it a look if you have an SV-2. All right, so we got that cool groove going, a couple cool chords there. Now let's listen to the bass sound again. All right, the bass is cool, but maybe if I'm going to change the vibe, how do we change the bass sound? On all of the arrangers, it's very easy to find sounds and navigate. A couple things. As we kind of go through here, if I go to volume, right, you're going to see if I press the track select button, you can see now all of the accompaniment tracks that are available. So 8 accompaniment tracks that you're seeing here, and I can choose exactly which sound is being used to generate the accompaniment. Now in this case, it lets me know actually when it flashes in green which one I'm hearing. So I can click right here and you can see JB pick bass. All right. Now, fun fact about arrangers, all right? Anything that says DN, DN2, DN1, it stands for Defined Nuance Control. And that is a feature of our arrangers, PA600 and up, that basically gives you a really realistic sounding instrument. It's really great with string instruments. If you're playing guitar, you'll hear the fret noise, you'll hear slides up, horn glissandos, things like that. So let's find another bass sound that's maybe a little bit more soft. There's acoustic. I can say I can navigate through my pages. Let's try that with a beat. Any R&B fans out there? Oh, I see a request. All right, slap bass. Let's see what that. Who's hip to those R&B progressions? I know we probably have some R&B fans out there, but I definitely dig the R&B progressions. Even that one's simple, but E major 7, then to the E flat 7 altered with the flat 9. So when you're done selecting your sound, you can click the exit button, and we're back now to see the rest of the tracks. So you can hear now you're starting to customize the sound. All right. Now, if I leave manual bass mode, right, now what's going to happen is the keyboard is going to trigger the chord I play. Here we go. So you can see now it's going to generate the automatic accompaniment, which in this case is really great if I want to maybe free up my left hand now and start to practice my comping, which I love doing with this instrument. But I can come in here, and let's see, I want to mute. So I can mute to the keyboard track there. Accompaniment 1 was the comping electric piano, and now I can comp myself. So that's just the start of it, and we're going to go through some other styles and experience what this can do. But the first point I want to make today is that this can be used if you're not just somebody who is performing with an arranger like myself. I love using it as a practice tool and really a creative tool to be able to outline and sketch different songs. All right. With that said, let's move on to another style. Let's give you some more variety. And we will come here. I'm going to click my set list. Now, this arranger and our arrangers have really cool things called Songbook. And in a Songbook, you can basically store configurations of style configurations. You can even store song play configurations within the Songbook in this instrument, basically giving you quick access to pull them up in a setting when you're performing, like now. And then I have those set up really nicely in my set list, so I can kind of go through the first one we opened up with, and I can go to my next one here, which is a really cool orchestral thing we're going to do now. So arrangers don't only have really great automatic accompaniment features, but they also have really great sounds inside of them. Now, like I said, you can click the mode for sound specifically, and you can kind of navigate through all these different categories, and you can see factory, there's legacy from our older PA keyboards, PA Professional Arranger, but you can go through and hear absolutely very vast variety of sounds here. But I want to explore some of the strings, because I think strings are very, very, very powerful if you want to score or maybe orchestrate something. Now, the one I have here in this style that I called up is a keyboard set called Movie Strings. Now, keyboard sets, like we mentioned before briefly, are going to give you those performance setups that are optimized to combine certain things in your right hand and in the lower split region of the keyboard. You can see up to 4 voices, 3 in the top and 1 in the bottom. Now, this Movie Strings one is very expressive, and it actually takes advantage of the aftertouch on the Pa1000. So let's just start by listening to this alone. I'm going to unmute myself. I wanted to mute my mic so this way you can really hear just the sound. But that is such an expressive string keyboard set there. It just really gives you a lot of variety. And once you get on it, you can hear the velocity really takes it over the top. Now, fun fact for those of you who are really into this, let's go and pull up this sound in the sound edit category. So let's see. You know what? We'll pull up one of these. Let's see. A lot of different variety here. But you can see movie string. Here we go. Movie string 1. So when I am in sound mode, I can click the menu button and you really can get into some very, very in-depth customization of specific sounds. But I just wanted to show you something. Look at the oscillator count on this specific string patch. It's 15. Now, this keyboard has the ability, if I click right here, up to 24 different oscillator counts for a specific sound. Now, it's pretty nicely laid out as well. As you start to kind of navigate through, you can go to the oscillator tab. And you can see string ensemble, stereo left. That's oscillator 1. If I go to 2, stereo right. I mean, you're going to go through viola vibrato. I mean, look at all the different layers that are part of just that one movie strings patch that we just were playing there. So that's what helps to make it really rich and really full. So just a little fun tidbit of information. You can kind of come in here and you can start getting into your velocity range. So similar to our workstations, you can do that in an arranger. Those high velocity strikes were giving me the timpanis. You can do all that in the PA1000 and our professional arranger lineup. So cool. Little tidbit of information. We'll go back to the movie strings. All right. But we're talking about the SV2 also. So we're going to go back down to the bottom. Now, this patch I'm going to call up was done. I made this in the editor. For our patch of the week. Now, if you haven't checked out the SV2 patch of the week, check it out. Little subtle plug there, but it was pretty fun because we got to use the editor in combination with the front panel controls on the SV to make some pretty cool sounds. All right, but this one was done to recreate Clocks by Coldplay. You guys know this song. So that's pretty cool, and I think it came out nice, but I had to split, you can hear it. So that's layer 1, is that nice pad. And then, because my left hand would be tied up playing that, I made the 2 upper voices separated by an octave. So you get that. Cool, yeah, I see actually we just put the link for that. If you want to check out the patch of the week, there is a video that is in the description now or in the comments where you can actually go check it out on YouTube, and I show you how to actually make this patch here. So let's see what we can do with that in combination with the string on the PA1000. So first things first, let's get some ambience here. SV2 is really great at giving you that hands-on effects control. And I'm going to go here. I have whole reverb on right now. It's on a 3 for the depth. I'm going to turn it up and get some more going here. All right, we're getting somewhere there. Now, fun tip for you. If you ever are hearing a sound on the SV and you want to change the balance of the layers, it's very easy to do that right on the main panel. You can simply press the function button and everything starts flashing, letting you know you're in the function mode. And I'm going to turn my attention to the equalizer section. You can see I have 3 knobs here, typically used to adjust the bass, mids, and treble frequencies. But when you're in function mode, they will adjust the levels of each of the layers. So if you hear now, let's hear the layers separately. So, all right. So here's layer 1. There's 1 piano alone. Here's the octave piano. And on this one is the pad. If I can lower it, see, get the balance just where I want. I see someone says, Jay, you're going to love the SV-2. So I'm happy you're enjoying your PA1000. Great combination. It's fun. This is a good combination. All right, so then I was just messing with the levels there of my 3 layers. I can simply tap these buttons to reset them to where they were. So that's really nice. And we can press function mode again to exit. So now we're back on the patch. All right, let's see what we can create with this orchestral sound. I'm going to mute my mic and we'll make some music. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, fun fact. My favorite things in film scores and orchestral things is when you have an end, a resolution. And I was playing in C there, so you were expecting, or no. But I love that you can make, the tonic, which is the C, you can make that into the third, and then your ears just open up when you hear that. And then you build and the unexpected modulation. So I hope you guys enjoyed that patch. And again, that is really just a great combination there. And the fact that you have this orchestral power, and I mean this whole sound here, this style that I was in, I have a really cool sound here as well, but now, that's a great tip actually right there, because right in that moment, I wanted to trigger a C over G. Arrangers have a really convenient button for that, and it's called bass inversion. If you have a PA600 or 300, that will actually be in the volume tab, or I believe, no, the split tab, right? So it doesn't have the physical button, so you can go to the split tab and turn on bass inversion. On the 1000, 4X, and so on, you'll have this bass inversion button. So now it will trigger a C over G, which is nice. All right, cool. So I hope you enjoyed that. I want to change it up now. We're going to go for some, oh yeah, aftertouch is a great feature. Yes, I totally agree with that. Because look at that. I mean, in that moment, right, you're getting dynamics on the instrument, and you're like, all right, I'm into it. But once you're triggered and you're down, the fact that you can have, and you get that, the timpani. I mean, that's great. I mean, that's aftertouch. For those of you who don't know, if anyone is new to keyboards and just looking to get an introduction, aftertouch is not only do you get a strike, so you play the key a certain velocity, that is the pressing of the key, that's going to trigger a note. But then after the key is already depressed, the instrument will be able to input how much you're pressing down into the key bed after it's already been struck. So that can be used to trigger a wide range of things, vibratos, in this case, other instruments. I mean, it's very deep and it opens up a whole nother world of programming inside of the instrument. So it's great for arrangers and workstations and things of that nature because it can be used very creatively in the programming phase of sound creation. All right, so let's go to the next sound. We'll take it out of the orchestral vibes. Cool. We're going to have some fun now. I did mention that I use this instrument or these combinations really for practice purposes and for jamming and things like that. So what I'm going to demo now is the song play mode. Now, for those of you who are seasoned experts at arrangers, you definitely know what this is. So I'm not talking to you for this. I'm talking to someone who doesn't actually know. But song play mode is going to allow you to play back different kinds of files inside of the arranger instrument. So it could take MP3 files, karaoke files, MIDI files, you name it, you put it in there and you could load it on a flash drive. And I have my flash drive right here on my 1000. It has a front mounted USB connectivity port as well as a back one, which is nice. But I can get into song play mode by clicking the song play button and it pulls up a menu that looks like this. Now you can see I have player 1 and player 2. Now this is great if you're doing live performance. Now you can load 2 different MP3 files at the same time, have them both playing, and use this really nice crossfade knob to go between them. So we're going to take it back to the funk. And I got some cool backing tracks I like to play along with and practice to. And if I go ahead and see right here, if I click my player 1, it's very simple to come in here. You click it, and it's saying, okay, well, where do you want to play the song from? Now, in this case, I'm reading it from my USB flash drive, but you can also copy them to the internal disk if you want. I'm just reading them off of the drive for now, so USB-F. And you can see here, it's going to show me the file. So I have 2 MP3s there, 251 smooth jazz funky, cool play along, and funky guitar backing track. So that's going to load into player 1 and player 2. Then what's pretty awesome is now I can use these controls to start playing the track. But there's a really cool added functionality I want to show you about. So I'm going to press play on player 1 and I have my fader knob to the left. Now my assignable switch 1 is set to adjust the MP3 volume. So you have control there. Not adjusting. All right, so that's a cool track. Get carried away, just start playing there. Now, I could simultaneously start playing player 2. And now player 2 is playing. You can see it's counting. Player 1, and I can crossfade. That's player 1. Cool, right? I mean, yeah, someone said, yeah, nice. Now, if you thought that was nice, though, I'm going to show you my favorite little trick here. Now, these are really cool tracks to play along to, but if I'm practicing, right, what's the key? Is always like, playing in different keys and stuff like that, because you might get to the gig, the vocalist is not feeling it today, and they want to take it in a different key. So can you play it in all 12 keys? So one thing that's great is not only can the PA1000 or transpose MIDI files, which would be easy to do, but it can also has a built-in MP3 transposition feature, which is nice. And that basically allows you to take an existing MP3, these are MP3s, and bring them up and transpose them up, down. And I'm going to do that now with player one. Let's start with that. So these transpose buttons on the right side of the instrument, when you're in song play mode, they will be used to transpose the MP3 or whatever files you have loaded into the song play section, player one and player two. So let's play and see what happens. We'll take it up a half step. So this is in, I think we're in C, right? Yeah. All right, now we're gonna go up. We're in D flat. That's pretty awesome. But let's try it. So we were in D flat now. Let's go down. B is going to be rough. B is always a rough key. I don't know about you guitar players out there, but guitar players probably feel better in B than I would. But B is my worst enemy sometimes. So I always got to intentionally find time to play in the key of B. Fun tip, if you ever want to get back to 0, so cancel your transposition, you don't have to go clicking through. You can always just press both buttons together and it'll bring you back to 0. You can see right in the middle of the display, it's letting me know, whoops, exit, how I'm transposed. And if I'm down, let's go down one, see what it sounds like. So we're getting something. Just like you could do before, you can see that it does have my keyboard sets available. So this thing is ready to jam. I was playing the SV there, but I can go here, click where it says, I have a couple called up here, but I can go to keyboard set and I can choose whatever I want. So in this case, let's choose like an organ keyboard set. So let's try the Jimmy organ and click exit. So now you can see. All right, so as you can see, it just makes it really easy to dive in and just start having some fun and really jam out. Now, the same thing goes for the right player, or the player 2 in this case. So if I make my segue crossfade, and this is down a half step, so let's go up a little bit. We're in B flat minor now. And you can hear, I can't even, the quality of the transposition obviously depends on the track, but in my experience, it's very useful and it actually comes out sounding really good and very playable. Now, in my case, I would use this more of like a jam tool, and because I might not bring it on a gig for my jazz gigs, but for somebody, if you're performing and you want to play over an existing, MP3 and you have your MP3 set up, this could be a really great combination where you're now able to adjust your key. Maybe one day you need to take it down a half step, up a half step, that's fine. And then having the stage instrument below to just kind of comp freely and have not even disturb the keyboard set. Sometimes it's nice to have a weighted action. That's a great variety combination here. So thank you again, by the way, for everyone joining us. Nice to be here. Once again, my name is Luciano with KORG, and we're here with the 1000, PA1000, and SV-2 today to have some fun jamming. With that said, let's go back. I hope you enjoyed that little functionality there, and we're going to go back to the set list, and let's see what we have next. Okay. I have Afro-Cuban jazz, so I got to do a little jazz because that's my thing. But let's go back to the first one that we started with for a second. I just want to talk a little bit about chaos effects and what you can do with it. And we'll reset our transposition, and let's click exit. We'll go back to silent mode. So this was the one we opened up with. And I don't know if you caught it, but at the end, we did a cool variation of the groove. Now, the groove started like this. Let's see. So let's start it. This was the groove, right? Cool. I did a couple things, though. First things first, Chaos Effects, it's KORG's famous technology that is used to really give you a lot of variety in the music you're playing, very simply put. Now, it does this by modifying various parameters. It could arpeggiate patterns by sending out different MIDI data, but it can also be used to control certain effects, all on a really nice XY axis. So you can, in this case, it's using the capacitive touchscreen to control Chaos Effects. And as you can see, by putting my finger around, I can make some really cool things happen. But very versatile, and really, depending on the music you're playing, it can be drastic differences you get in your performance. Now, in this case, I was jamming out. I had that was like a triplet feel that I'm playing there. So if I want to practice that, I can get the Pa1000 to give me a triplet beat and evolve the style that I just started with. So to do that, press start, and you can see here I have a preset menu of Chaos Effects parameters that I can change, and you can also go in and choose from a lot of them, adjusting different parameters, different effects, endings, rhythmic aspects, filters. I mean, it's really deep, and you can see there's pages. And you can take one of these and then assign it to your favorite preset category so you can quickly access them. But in this case, there's a tripletizer. And watch this. I love that. So by moving my finger around, you can hear this is actually going to adjust you can see cutoff and resonance. But that triplet feel. So if you ever want to get it to stay like that so I can take my hand off of it, you can press shift and then put your finger where you want it to actually stay. So. That can be used for, I love the triplet grooves are really popular and give that really cool laid back effect. Let's see if we can get this going. There's your chord of the day. A lot of clusters on an E flat. So that's pretty cool, and that's just one of the features. But if you come here, I can go and actually let's try the arpeggio functionality. You can see now this is actually taking the keyboard set sound, which is that really cool piano belly texture. Depending on where I put my finger, and depending on which category, you can see it's actually changing up cycle, down, up and down, one beat, down one beat, and arpeggiating fully up. So that's just one parameter, but if I go through, let me check it out. Some of these are going to be more intense. I mean, look at that. You're really like, now you're getting some variety. Well, oh, I got a sound for this. Let's see. Go to G. manual bass. You can have a lot of fun. But Chaos Effects, check it out. And actually, if we just pull up another style here, I'll click Exit, go to Keyboard Set, Style Play Mode, and I can come here, check out some other styles. But once you go to dance, I mean, let's pull up this synth beat one. Check this out. I mean, this is going to give me some different options here if I go to Chaos Effects, but let's go. Right? Tripletizer again. This one is pretty cool ending. Check this out. And then you could stop the style. So that's a pretty unique one right there. That's just the ending and repeat. See, certain parts of the quadrant give you different things. We need a different sound for this. We can maybe put an effect on this piano to make it. This is going to be an interesting combination, but let's see. Wow, that's got a lot of grit on it. Let's see. Let's try a different one. Oh, wow, tremolo. Let's see. All right, let's see what happens. All right, fun, but these things are a blast, really. And I could assure you that before coming to KORG, I wasn't sure what I would really do with an arranger, but I found so much reward out of just playing with these instruments that I find it's part of my, my jam, my practice routine kind of now. So anyway, that's Chaos Effects. It goes even deeper. If you haven't checked it out, by the way, there is an episode of the video manual. I don't know, James, if you want to find a link for this, but if you type in Pa1000 Chaos Effects, you can see an episode specifically on what we just spoke about. So if you want to go a little bit deeper into that, definitely check it out. All right, back to set list. Got a little jazz, and then we'll close it out. All right, so like I said, this can be a great rhythm generator as well. If you want to just, wow, actually that is not the sound. Let's go back to a regular piano. There's the Italian Grand. Cool. How many of you, when you're on the gig, you get confused which pedal you're supposed to be playing? And I have two pedals, and I seem to always press the wrong one. So, pressing the right one now. All right. Let's go. So now once I select, I'm in the set list, I select Afro-Cuban jazz, and you can see it's letting me know that it is a style that I called up. I can click exit, and now I'm in the style mode. I can go back to my keyboard set to see the main screen. All right, let's see what happens. So I have, one of the cool things is when you save something to your songbook in an arranger, this is not only going to, it's a great way to save the configuration of the panel. So in this case, you can see, I just called that up, this Afro-Cuban jazz, but it already remembered that, hey, I want to start with intro number 2 and go into variation number 1 after that. So Songbook is a great way if you want to just have your whole set prepared. You don't have to think about it. You can really just go through, have it ready to go, and it's going to remember what variations, what introductions, what ending, whatever you have it set up as, it's going to be ready to go. Also, if you record anything into the chord sequencer, which we're going to demo now, very handy for practice purposes. All right, so let's trigger an A flat 7 sus 4. All right, let's see what happens. Variation 2. Oh, let's swing. Now, the first little thing I noticed there in that case, if I'm practicing, if I want to, if I want to practice a specific chord progression, it's really great to be able to record it in the chord sequencer. Now, this is how this works. Is basically you can press and hold it. Once you see it light up red, that means you're ready to record into the sequencer. And in this case, let's go back to variation 1. Let's say we just want to kind of bounce back and forth between 3 chords. So I can press start, and now it's A flat, it's flashing. 2 bars, and we'll go to B flat. And we'll go to F sharp. And now I'll press it. Now once you press it, it turns green. It lets you know that you just saved those 3 chords that I inputted. Now you just want to get used to it. Oh, RJ, nice to hear that you love your PA1000. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. And you know what? I really love when people, I always say this every stream, but post videos of playing the PA1000, your arranger, whatever keyboard you have, and just put it out there and tag us. We love to see stuff that you're creating, so definitely just put out content. That's awesome. Yeah, remember to tag us. Definitely tag us so that we feature a lot of posts from our community, so definitely do it. All right, so I recorded it. It's green now. That means that I have a chord sequence saved. So all I got to do to start it is just, there it goes, it's flashing. There's the B flat, G flat, by the way, I love this comment. Francis, never place your sequencer start-stop switch beside your damper. Pro tip right there, if I've ever heard one. That is the best tip you can ever have. That is fun little story. My dad, he's probably going to watch this, but he was telling me that he used to have a colleague of his who used to do a lot of work with arrangers, and he would always just press the wrong button by accident on gigs. And whenever he would press the wrong button, after the thing would start playing and all these rhythms would come out, like at the end of a ballad or something like that, and he would just put his hands up like, I didn't do it, but he did do it. He just pressed all the wrong buttons. But funny story. But thank you, Francis, for your comment. All right. So as you can hear, really practical to go through and just practice, because now I have my chord sequencer going, and I could just play. So if I want to, work on my soloing, great. I can go through my variations. Variation 3. Right? Caught me off guard there. Jazz. So chord sequencer, great functionality. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out on your PA1000. Somebody asked April, how do I tag you? So on social media specifically, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, and you can actually tag, Karine, you can write the tags there in the chat maybe, but yeah, there they are. @KORG official is our Instagram tag, and Facebook and Twitter @KORG USA. So if you haven't followed us, just follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and you can actually tag us directly so we can see what you're putting out. So that's awesome. All right, it's coming up on an hour already, so that went by quickly. But in summary, we're going to start doing a lot of these combined live streams where we're featuring, different parts of our lineup. And, these traditionally might not be perceived as instruments that, would be put together, It's just great to see that you can actually put these two together. An arranger, professional arranger, PA1000 on top, really great for automatic accompaniment, but also deep functionality, customizability, great sound content, in combination with an amazing stage piano, the SV-2 on the bottom, just to really make some great music and have some fun. And in my case, using it as a creation tool in the studio to practice, to come up with ideas. It's very deep, and this is just really scratching the surface. I mean, one other thing just coming to mind, like these assignable switches that you have at your luxury here, even for like jamming. I mean, you could assign assignable switch 3 to cut off a certain number of the accompaniment tracks to give you space to comp, and maybe somebody you're working with another instrument to solo. I mean, it's a great tool to have with you. With that said, I'll make my way through the comments after the stream. If I have any questions I can give you answers to that haven't already been answered. But thank you so much for joining me today. Let's play off with something. But this style here, let's see what it is. I have it as soul. Before we go, we'll just find a groove to play out. But let's hear what we have here. Oh, okay. Let's see what we have in the top. Oh. Okay, that's pretty hip. Let's hear something though. Let's go to chaos. Let's hear. Wow, a lot of fun stuff here. We don't need that there. There we go. Let's see a little density there. Let's lock that in. All right. And now we'll go back to keyboard set. All right, everyone. So we're going to play off. We're going to jam a little bit. But thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Luciano Minetti with KORG.